It's a very common phenomenon for our thoughts, words, actions, and self-identity to not be aligned. Our ego gives us the illusion that we have high self-esteem, for example. But then you might notice that you think you have high self-esteem, but for some reason, you keep dating toxic people. For some reason, you have a lot of on-off relationships. For some reason, people keep telling you the same things. You keep turning people off. For some reason, you keep getting yourself into toxic relationships. But our mind doesn't catch up with our true identity. It takes you observing your actions. Stop observing what you think of yourself and just look at your actions, and it'll tell you how you really see yourself. And whenever our results don't go in line with what we expect, it's because most likely we are not aware of how we really are. A lot of you guys have low self-respect for yourself. And no matter what you do, you keep encountering people who don't respect you. No matter what you do, people keep disrespecting you. No matter what you do, you feel like people don't give you enough honor. People don't listen to you. They don't respect what you have to say. They don't respect your opinion. They don't respect your advice. And if you're not aware that the truth is that you don't have respect for yourself, then you're never really gonna fix the issue. So you're gonna try to fix the issue without really addressing the issue, and that's the fact that you have low self-respect. So before we begin with this, I wanna tell you that people who have high self-respect, the way that you gain high self-respect is through two things, right? Self-awareness, and also, which actually they go hand in hand, controlling your emotions. When you have self-awareness, self-respect naturally happens. It may not happen now, but over time, self-respect happens. The thing is that when you don't have self-respect and somebody disrespects you, you're not aware of what's happening. All you feel is anger, resentment, a desire to control them, a desire to tell them off, a desire to complain, a desire to feel like the victim. But the thought that you don't respect yourself never comes through, and so you never really address it. Get what I'm saying? Like me, I realize I have low self-esteem. And one of the things that made me realize that is that like the types of relationships that I got myself into in the past, my constant need for validation. Like I remember when I was younger, like if I didn't hook up with a girl, like I would feel really shitty. Like really, for real, right? And I just thought that was just having desire. But really, my self-esteem and my self-respect was hand in hand with with women's validation. That's not having respect for yourself. And so what happens is that I'm so fucking needy and creepy that women then get turned off by me. And so I'll go on Google and say, how do I get a girl to like me? What should I say? But without noticing that the source of this behavior and the source of women's consistent reaction to me is the fact that I just don't respect myself. And that usually happens because you can't control your emotions. You sell yourself short because you can't stand one more second being with yourself. You rather double, triple text this person just to see a response than feel what you currently feel for another hour. Regulating your emotion over time and developing a self-awareness of how shitty you feel comes with self-respect. In AA, the first step in Alcoholics Anonymous is admitting that you're weak, because it's pretty much self-awareness. And that's the beginning of being sober, of liberating yourself from your addictions. Well, in this case, the first thing is realizing how much you disrespect yourself unconsciously. Because you gotta remember, this is not easy to find. Your ego is gonna blind you from it. And that's why I decided to make this video today, okay? By the way, hopefully you guys, we're gonna be mixing a little bit of talking like that and a little bit of writing, because I wanna find a good middle ground. By the way, we're selling our paintings, people. These are $50. These are watercolors done by me. They're of Mexico, $50. I can even write a personal note to you guys. The Da Vinci painting was done by my student. This is $300. Look at that, man. I did it. I taught her how to do that. First time classes, by the way. And by the way, if anybody wants to take art classes with me, come to Mexico, $2,000, and I'll teach you how to paint like this in 1 week, guaranteed. And the next thing, I should advertise that more often, is my painting of Frida Kahlo, which is in watercolor also, and it looks like oil, right? Watercolor, and this is $1,000. I made Look, I may put it up to 1,500 next week, to be honest with you. But for now, it's $1,000. You guys can purchase it on the description down below, in the comment section. Actually, you'll see a link to purchase it. Okay, so let's talk about the first thing. Is not take the first sign that you respect yourself is not taking rejection personally. Like now, I remember if somebody ghosted me, I would say to myself, man, why don't they like me? Now what I say is, man, that's a bad habit. Like I see ghosting people as a bad habit, not as a personal attack on me, right? Where naturally, if you have low self-esteem, you're gonna blame yourself. Everything is your reason. Like for example, like I had a neighbor not tag me in a photo a few years ago, for example, and I was like, man, fuck this neighbor, man. They didn't tag me in the photo. Well, what happened is that what I know after knowing him for years is that he struggles with socializing. So he looks normal on the outside, but when I did a drawing for him, he didn't tag me in it. And I just said like, yo, this person doesn't like me. Well, when you actually get to know him, you know that he kind of lacks in being able to catch those types of cues, like tag an artist when you post a photo. He doesn't know that. And before I would get offended by that. But now what happens is that I just say, okay, most likely it's because of that. Why? Because I'm not hurt. When you're hurt, everything hurts. When you're hurt, everything sort of like triggers you. And whenever you are traumatized on the inside, when something goes wrong, you blame yourself. Because you almost have a momentum of feeling shitty. And what best way to feel shitty than to blame yourself? Right? And it's hard to stop that because you get into this negative momentum of self-blame. And a lot of people, that's how they see the world. Like I remember when I was younger, my mom, when we first went to a new city, it was like a very white area. My mom used to say, man, oh, these white people are racist. And maybe she was right, but I always noticed, I was like, man, mom, like, they're not racist. Like, it's not personal. Most likely they're just tired. Most likely they're just this, right? That's an example of that. That you're always like, it's always the worst reason why, right? It's never because they're just sad. It's never because they just forgot, all right? It's a lot of times it has nothing to do with you. Maybe they're not over their necks. Maybe they're depressed. Maybe they're gay on the inside. You never fucking know. Why are you always the center of it? That's what happens when you don't respect yourself. You always blame yourself. The next thing is, this is honestly a big one, following through on your promises. Not just promises on other people, but yourself. The first time I did a 10-day meditation retreat, one of the reasons why I didn't want to quit was because I didn't want to give up. I promised myself I had to do this. Like at that time, I had a really bad addiction. And I was like, yo, like I need to finish this retreat. I said to myself I was going to do it. I have to do it. And like when I finished that retreat, like I just felt so proud of myself. Right? Like following through on your words, it increases your self-respect. You trust your words more. It's like someone who doesn't follow through on their words. You don't respect what they say because they're always going to be saying shit and never following through on their words, right? And it actually goes to this point, being proud of yourself. In life, look, man, and this is where practice and doing something substantial comes into place. You don't gain self-respect by being good looking. You don't gain but you could gain self-respect by building something. If you're born good looking, it's fine. But if you actually work for something, you eventually end up respecting yourself. Me, I have developed self-respect for a few because I've surprised me in my life. I was someone who really in school got a lot of bad grades, and now I see myself. I'm a painter. I do YouTube successfully. I play the drums. I play basketball. I practice all the time. I do meditation retreats. Like I've sort of like overachieved in what I expected myself in my life, and that every time I think of that, I'm like, man, Alexis, man, you were one cool motherfucker, man. And that I got like my success in my life that I've done that through effort, not wanting people's validation, has given me a level of self-respect that's very difficult to replicate by getting it from the opposite sex. Why? Because like I said, when I think of the things that I've done, it makes me feel better, right? And so you learn to self-regulate your emotions through those thoughts that are under your control, right? But if you have if you've never done anything in life, this is difficult. You gotta do something. You gotta give yourself some reference of success so that you can respect yourself. Because what happens is that over time, we waste our time. And this actually goes with that. Wasting your time lowers your respect. Because over time, you're gonna hate yourself for not following through on your words. You're gonna hate yourself for being unproductive. You're gonna hate yourself for wasting your own fucking time. You break your promises, you do nothing, you waste your time, you never fully concentrate on something, then what the hell, how the hell you think you could gain respect? You end up using drugs. You end up abusing and manipulating people. You end up being super manipulated to gain something that you could have easily given yourself with just a little bit of hard work and effort. Self-respect requires effort, man. You know what I mean? Like, it just does. The next thing is saying no. Self-respect comes from saying no. No, I don't want to do that. No, that's not good for me. No, it doesn't benefit me. No, I'm too tired to do that. No, I don't want to be in that type of relationship. I want this type of relationship. I don't want to be in that type of relationship. No, learning to say no. Because the people who respect themselves the least are those who say yes to everything, literally. The next one is signs that you respect yourself is that you have no form of self-violence. What do I mean, no forms of self-violence? I mean, no hitting yourself, no talking bad to yourself, no negative self-talk, no getting fat and eating horrible, no doing crazy drugs. I had to learn that one the hard way, no pun intended. No form of self-violence, but also self-violence comes not being mindful. I want you guys to understand is that whenever you're not aware of your sensations, whenever you're not aware of your body, that is a form of self-violence. When you don't feel your body, usually you're in your head. And when you don't feel your body, things go horribly wrong. You get more stress, your cholesterol raises, you're more reactive. But when you feel your body calms down because it's getting the respect. Respect of your body, which is your unconscious, comes by you just simply having some awareness of sensation. It's like you're always watching your kid. That you're always aware of some form of sensation. And that is a form of nonviolence. Because when you're not aware of sensation, what happens is that you start to cling on to external validation or anything outside of your body to soothe you. So that means you might overeat, you might have emotionally eating, you might drink, you might smoke, you might watch a lot of TV, waste your time. Why? Because you're not giving yourself some self-awareness. By you being aware of everything but your body starts to almost divide within itself. It feels more stress. Think about it. When you feel stress, a lot of times you just got to notice the breath for a few seconds and it calms down, right? But what's happening is that you're giving your body what it needs, awareness. And this increases the harmony that you have with it. You become more healthy. You eat better. You eat less. You have less desire to drink, less desire to smoke. In other words, you become more of your friend. And this radiates from within. You come across as calm, confident, even if you're ugly, even if you don't have certain things, people will find you attractive because you feel completely at ease with yourself, right? So not being mindful is a way to lose respect because, like I said, when you're not mindful, it becomes more difficult to self-regulate. And above all, you have no self-awareness, right? The next thing is that you're willing to walk away. We all know I always say this one, but it's for a reason. You're able to walk away. When you're able to walk away, people respect that. People know that you have options. People know that you're someone that's not going to take the bullshit. The next thing is not lowering your standards. Now, we're going to pause it here because I'm going to get a lot of people misunderstanding what I'm saying. I'm not saying that if you want a man who makes $500K, now you're going to lower it to $300K. For all the Shira 7 fans, we're not talking about money, boo-boo. We're talking about how they treat you, all right? For example, you're 35 years old, you're dating, you're single, and every guy you meet has kids. For example, that's an example, right? Well, sometimes you gotta settle. With that sense, you can lower your standards. Nothing wrong with that because as we get older, we have more baggages. You know what I'm saying? You can't date a 20-year-old, right? So you become realistic. If that makes any sense. So it's not about lowering your standards, but about being realistic. What I mean by this is You like this person so much that you let them smack you. You let them talk shit about you. You let them talk shit about your friends. You completely lose yourself in the relationship, right? You lower how you expect less from people. You tolerate more of their bullshit. And this usually happens because you get beaten into submission. You get beaten into submission. You take so much disappointment, and because you don't know how to self-regulate, and because you're not self-aware of what's going on, you start to commit self-violence. And this will cause you to say to yourself, I'm gonna leave this person. But then you start breaking your promises. And then you start to take things personal. Like, it's really shitty, man. And which comes down to this one. You have boundaries, right? You have boundaries. You have the boundaries. You have boundaries that come with consequences. And these consequences are appropriate to what they do, right? You don't leave them because they fucking coughed wrong. You leave them because they cheated on you. You leave them because they called you names and hit you, for example, right? But you have boundaries that come with consequences, not just boundaries, because people don't respect people who don't, follow through on their words, follow through on their promises. And last but not least is that you respect others. Because how you treat others is how you treat yourself. If you treat others with disrespect, that's a sign that that's how you treat yourself. Treat others with respect accordingly, and that's a sign that you also respect yourself. You know. So let's read this. Not taking things personal. Okay, that's the first one. Following through on your promises, and developing self-awareness and learning how to control your emotions is the first step, actually. You do this and self-respect arises like a flower arising from spring. Saying no to people, learning how to say no. I struggle with that one. Not having forms of violence, meaning overeating, not paying attention, not lowering your stress, drinking, drug use, letting others mistreat you, not being mindful. That by you developing mindfulness, you increase your respect. Walking away shows people that you have self-respect. Not lowering your standards, being proud of yourself, because this one will allow you to not need the other person's validation. Having boundaries, but most importantly, with consequences, and above all, respecting other people. When you do this, right, you will pretty much develop self-respect. All right. Anyways, hopefully you guys enjoyed this video, and take care. One of the things that people encounter is that when they try to develop self-respect, some of their friends might leave or their partners might leave. Well, sometimes when they leave because you demand respect, it's because they didn't love you. They actually just were addicted to the power they had over you. Toxic people love people with little respect for themselves because they're very submissive. They say yes. Hyper controlling people love it. And when you wake up like an elephant realizing it could kill its owner, when you realize that, it threatens them because they really was with you because of the high you gave them. That's really what self-respect is that you force people to mirror how you see yourself. And if you don't mirror that, then you get the fuck out. The fuck out. So now that you know what self-respect looks like, what are the consequences? Well, of course, what you're going to notice is that your relationships will increase the quality, but the quantity of relationship will decrease because you're going to notice there's been some weeds growing in your life. The next thing that happens is that people who look down on you will get aggressive with you, right? It's almost like saying, who do you think you are? Humans have a hierarchy system in their minds. We're primal animals, we're social animals. And so we already have everyone designated a place. That's why when you see an ugly guy with a really hot girl, a lot of people tend to get mad. The guys get jealous, but the other women get mad at the girl for dating him, right? You're like, oh my God, you're lowering the value. Well, the reason why is because they see that guy as low value and now he's being elevated. People want to see you where you are. They don't mind if if a famous celebrity dates a hot girl, but they do mind when someone who is on or below their level dates someone really attractive. It threatens their status in life. So a lot of times people will start hating on you, get mad, and they'll try to put you down because that's what they're used to. It's like with Goodfellas when With the guy that was like, hey, why don't you get my fucking shine box, right? He came out of prison and he saw Tommy. He was like, hey, Tommy, you remember when you used to do my shine boxes? And Tommy was like, hey, we ain't doing that no more, Tommy. I don't know if you heard it before, but, I'm not that same kid no more. I moved up in life. He was like, hey, Tommy, I'm just fucking with you. Hey, I'm just fucking with you. You don't need to get so fucking angry at me. And then he was like, don't worry about it. And then Tommy was like, all right, cool. All right, as long as it's not disrespectful. And then the guy's like, hey, why don't you go home and get my fucking shine box? And he was like, motherfucker, you. The reason why that is because it's like with your parents. When you grow up, they can't stop looking at you as their kid. People, their views of you harden. So when they see you all of a sudden start behaving differently, they're going to start getting aggressive. They're gonna start saying, "Who the fuck does this person think he is? Oh, he thinks he's better than us. Oh, you're not going out. Oh, you're not drinking no more. Oh, you're not smoking weed no more. Oh, you think you're better than us. We got this white boy right here now, right? Oh, look at his coon, right? Like type of shit, right? So some people are not gonna like it. They're not gonna like it. They may try to test you to prove to you that you're still down there. But like, this dude thinks he moved up. Let's fuck him up. Right? People would then test you to see whether or not this is real self-respect or if you're faking it. Because rarely do you see people actually go from not having self-respect to having self-respect. Right? It's like a guy who's dating a woman and she always comes back to him. Now she develops a backbone and he's like, oh, you're not, oh, he's like, he notices she's not coming back to him. And a lot of times he'll try to put her down. Like, oh, fuck you, bitch. You'll never get another man. Look at you. Yo, looking like a fucking hippo, that type of shit. Like he'll try to bring you down so that you could go back to that respect level. Right? This pretty much comes down to hierarchy. When you try to move up the hierarchy, and usually it happens from within first, a lot of people will try to kick you down, man. It threatens them, right? So that's why real G's move in silence. And this will cause you to make new friends. Your social circle might change. Your goals might change. Once you start respecting yourself more, your standards go higher. Your standards of how you treat yourself, how you eat, how you move around, like literally your whole life will improve. Like literally, it has one of those cascading effects. It's truly powerful. And a lot of people will get threatened by that. They'll get threatened by that. You'll get better looking. You'll make more money. More people will be attracted to you. But you got to prune some dead leaves. Some people have to leave your life because they only see you a certain way. They only see you as that little kid. They only see you as that shoe shiner. And sometimes you got to put them in their place.
If you guys enjoyed this video, you guys can check out my other courses that are more in-depth and more profound, such as the Psychological Game of Attraction, which is a course for women who are single, Natural Chemistry, which is a self-help course on women on how to build how to embrace their masculine energy, how to embrace their feminine energy, Natural Chemistry, which is a course for women who are in relationships, Charisma Blueprint, which is a course on how to build charisma, Emotional Mastery, which is a course on how to become emotionally resilient. It's pretty much I teach you what I use to manifest my current life, to be honest with you. And you could purchase them all by joining the Mindful Attraction University, where you could purchase all of my courses. Usually all of my courses are $99. If you purchase all of them, you could get, I believe is $3.99. You could purchase them all. And there you'll be able to get access. And if you don't like the course, you guys can get a refund from Father Alex. Father Alex doesn't scam his subscribers. Father Alex is here to help. So if you guys feel like this video helped, trust me, you will like the course, because it's very rarely that the courses that you purchase from me don't work for that, whatever you're trying to. A lot of people purchase Natural Chemistry to improve their relationships with their partners, and it works. There's plenty of testimony. Just go to the website, Psychological Game of Attraction. If you're single and you apply that course, you won't be single for long, right? I'm telling you, if you're somebody who's overly masculine or you have too much feminine energy, check out the Feminine Woman. It'll teach you how to balance it so that you could have that sensation where you're feminine, but there's strength emanating from you. Right? I mean, too many women have that feminine energy, but it emanates as weakness. I'm here to teach you guys how to use your masculine so that you could strengthen and show that feminine energy without really looking way too masculine or way too feminine. And that allows you to have that beautiful balance that men respect, but also find attractive, right? So you can purchase it right now by clicking on the description down below, and I'll see you guys inside. Take care.